Hi, everybody. It's January 13, 2020. I want to start by reading some comments and then go through some information that, well, more damage from these severe storms, and we're getting more severe storms this weekend. Show you some satellite that clearly shows that all of this is induced by man controlling weather. And it's unbelievable. When it becomes so obvious, it really does get maddening. And it angers me because so many people are suffering the consequences of man using weather as a weapon. This has been going on for so long. And still, we can't seem to get people to either engage in conversation about what is taking place or care about it. And I'm not the only one who recognizes the lack of care in our fellow Americans. Here, when they think nobody cares enough to fight them, to come together and show we have the ability to display to them what being human means to us, and that we all stand on a solid foundation of values and morality, then change is what they're going to give to the environment conditions of an asleep populace whose general attitude is selfishness and ignorance. And yes, a whole lot of people are very proud to be ignorant. Throw the Hegelian dialectic in there, invert everything, pervert everything, and this becomes the prevailing standard. And that's what we live now. And for those who think that the ordinary citizens have nothing to do with this, then you're not recognizing how connected everything is. How we live our lives is 100% connected to this nightmare that we are living. Upstate New York, if anyone up here is experiencing bizarre ear ringing and health problems like headaches, earaches prior to storms here, I would appreciate hearing about it. I get sick during every incoming low pressure system leading to rain or snow. I have bizarre loud ear ringing, ear pain, nerve pain, head pain. Albany area. Anyone else in New York having these problems? I have no doubt a whole lot are having those problems, because a whole lot all over the world now are having those problems, and they are related to the electromagnetic frequencies that man is using to manipulate these weather events. Artificial electromagnetic frequencies cause all of the symptoms that you just listed. And they cause a whole lot more symptoms that people are suffering from. Weather is so bizarre in Charlotte and the rest of the Carolinas, yeah. Local news anchors and weather personalities sell the idea of 60-plus temps in January as being wonderful. I feel they are reading a government script to get people normalized to this hot temp, related to geoengineering. Yes, everything is just a product to be sold to the consumers. Oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful. The manipulation of weather is wonderful. No, it's really not wonderful at all. Massachusetts. 64 degrees. Yeah, in January. Oh, in the video that I posted yesterday, it was 80 degrees yesterday, and I showed in that video that it was supposed to be 81 here, where I live in South Carolina. Oh, it is so not 81. I don't know what it is, probably high 60s. The rain last night, starting, 3, 4 a.m., was so intense. Yeah, buckets. I was worried about the cats because it was intense. I could hear it pounding on the roof. just came back from Malaysia, and they are hammering the skies with the spraying program. They keep the country covered almost most of the time, which makes the country hotter and hotter. There's no fresh air because everything is trapped between the clouds and the earth, and that's what they're doing in a lot of locations. And it's obvious. And I've shown on satellite how they can literally keep air masses stagnant and create that cloud coverage that just sits there. In fact, let me show you what's happening here. See this see this cloud? Bizarre shape of a cloud right here, Midwest. Wow. You see things moving above it, but below it, it's sitting there. It's just sitting there with a little bit of evaporation happening right here. They can control air masses with electromagnetic frequencies. That, I don't have to prove that. When you think about frequencies, when you think about electromagnetic frequencies, well, it's a force. Life is energy. Life is energy. So, we are electromagnetic beings. Everything that's operating internally, inside us, operates on frequency. Cells communicating with one another. Neurotransmitters going off in our brain. How do they fire? How do they fire in that brain? By frequency. So, these artificially induced electromagnetic frequencies are screwing everything up. Screwing everything up. All right, so yeah, holding this cloud patch still, constant, stagnant, and a whole lot more cloud, as you can see. Cloud, this is Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. They just hold it there. They deny you the weather that you would have naturally. They deny you that weather. The weather terrorists operating once again. And as you can see, the video that I posted last night showing you, they're bringing about another long line of cloud, that originates out here in the Pacific, goes through Mexico, and goes all the way on up to Canada. So, Oregon. These are the headlines reading from yesterday in Oregon. Now, did I include any information about Oregon? Why, in my search, did this not come up? I had a subscriber who told me that just a couple of days ago, she drove through like 180 miles of snow in the Virginias, West Virginia, of snow that was not on the radar. And it wasn't on the radar. I, in fact, saw her comment, and I was very confused by it, because I did not see this snow, nor did I see any reporting about it. So now, Oregon, these are the headlines. King tides slam Oregon, Washington coasts. 1 child dead, 1 missing in Oregon after being swept out to sea with their father. Snow, ice leave roads treacherous around Mount Hood. Multiple crashes reported. 85-mile-per-hour gusts force Mount Hood Meadows, a ski area, to close. Fallen leaning trees prompt closure of Diamond Lake Highway. Winter storm brings varied central Oregon snowfall, travel troubles, Deadly waves on the Oregon coast, fallen tree breaks sign along snow-covered Highway 26 near Mount Hood. Snow closes Oregon Highway. There's no estimated time for reopening. Avalanche warning issued as Mount Hood hit with another round of heavy snow. Snowstorm aims at Oregon's I-5 corridor. Northern California faces flooding early this week. Snow-laden trees close Oregon Highway 230. And I didn't see anything reported. Nothing came up in my searches. That's bizarre. Never heard this. I'm awake, are you? Lives there. Never heard of the term king tide used to describe dangerous high tides. It was reported that waves reached up to 30 feet high wind gusts all over the state. Wind gusts are wicked here near Sisters, Oregon, as I typed this comment. Tonight has been the worst here so far, causing large limbs to break out of trees all around the property. I have some minor damage from wind to my motorhome. Vent covers blown off. I'm surprised I still have power. This wet snow is not typical for our high desert climate. Snow is usually very dry here and blows around easily once fallen to the ground. This current wet, heavy snow causes a lot more accidents because it's like ice to drive or walk on. I do not live in the flight path of any major airports, yet all night long, last night, I heard planes fly overhead that were so loud it sounded like they were just feet above me, and drowned out volume on videos I was watching. My muscles feel like I am being run over by a bus. My ears are ringing. I have had a headache for 3 days. I get shocked when I touch things indoors. None of this shit is normal, and I'm really so tired of it, and so am I. This deliberate manipulation of the weather comes with consequences, whether it is the kind of consequence that your home is destroyed or you end up paying. You pay for these lies that you hear repeatedly about climate change and the deception and the gross immorality of these people who, quote unquote, lead us, our leaders. I think Americans now have no clue what morality means. That they can have these people in positions of power. It is sickening. Maine, after an expose on Maine driver data, Governor Janet Mills' climate group stops recording meetings. How is it that Americans are allowing themselves to be so lied to repeatedly and have this trash, what you're looking at right now, trash of a human being, decide for themselves against law that these meetings need to be recorded, and now they're going to stop? All right, so this is what's happening in Maine. State officials have reportedly been denying pieces of the recent Maine Examiner expose showing how Janet Mills' disgusting immorality, oh God, my God, immoral trash, right here. God. Showing how Janet Mills' administration is paying a vendor to track the movements of Mainers when they drive, walk, or ride a bike. Oh, I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't care that I have no privacy. These are the people who are 100% our enemy. Our enemy. Because they don't understand what government officials are doing with that data. And anybody who thinks that everything that we are posting on social media, oh, these are private companies, YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You think that these are private corporations? Government. Intelligence agencies created these social media platforms to collect data so that they could hand it over to the government officials, to the official government officials, the recognized government officials. Handed over all of the information about us to them from the unofficial, those so-called private companies. Unofficial government is what they are. A video of the November 16 meeting of the Maine Climate Council's Transportation Working Group showed Maine Department of Transportation officials urging members of the Maine Climate Council to request driver data acquired from a new state vendor that your governor in Maine signed off. Oh, wow, we have a new vendor that we can contract with to give us all the information. Tracking your smartphones, original destination, your turning movements, inferred trip purpose, your trip purpose for work, for pleasure, for whatever. AADT for roads, I'm not sure what that is. Trip speed, duration, length, and demographic data. Maine, Mainers, doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, or out of the matrix. This is outrageous, and everybody in Maine should be so unbelievably angry that all of this data about where you go, how long it took you to get there, and they're inferring why you went there, how long you spent there, that all going to the governor. My God. Other tracking methods are also available from Bluetooth sensors, TomTom, and Waze. I don't even know what they are. Google's GPS. Google's GPS navigation app. All of this technology has, it's so many of us screaming how dangerous it is. Oh, I don't care. I'm not doing anything wrong. December Climate Council meeting, there was an announcement that the group will no longer be recording the meetings, and that was just 3 days after the Maine Examiner published their expose. So you get caught. Trash. Oh, a lot of words are coming to mind, but too many get offended by those words. Trash is leading your state. Trash. Disgusting trash. Unbelievable. This woman contracted with a new vendor in April. Under state law, most public entities are required to maintain detailed meeting records, and some are required to document their meetings in such a manner that it's suitable for transcription. Every meeting of the Maine legislature, be they committee meetings or official proceedings in the chambers, are recorded. Working group announced that the January meeting would be the last discussion the group would have. Probably not the last discussion, but everything's going to be in private now. So you're looking at a 17-cent per gallon tax on gasoline in Maine. And that tax, they're going to be spending it on those green transportation projects. The TCI, that's the Transportation Climate Initiative, I think that's what it's called. This agreement has come under withering criticism from the fact that it essentially taxes rural Mainers to fund transportation projects in wealthy urban areas. Yes, the poor foot the bill for the wealthy. That's what's going on here in our country. They discussed expanding electric vehicles and charging infrastructure in Maine and laid out a timetable to make their official recommendations in June 2020. Disgusting. Video unavailable. This was the video of the meeting, and they've pulled it. So you can read the minutes. Well, let's see if this is pulled. Read the minutes of the Climate Council Transportation Working Group meeting on December 16. And, okay, the meeting minutes are available. I'll link to them below. And read the minutes for the November 18 meeting, including details of the Climate Council Transportation Working Group's discussion about Maine driver data collection by clicking on that link. And I'll link below to this as well. Look. The fact that so many people just don't care about anything that's happening, and they bend over like schmucks and take it from people who are trash. Oh, fine. I'll pay 17 cents more per gallon of gas. Because my governor says, oh, well, we've got to fight climate change, which is a bold-faced lie. You're not going to look into anything, right? So you, who don't look into anything, don't care about anything, leave all of those who do care suffering the consequences. Yes, our fellow Americans are the enemy. They who don't care are the enemy. Listen to this.
Severe storms that came in, it really did a lot of damage, even though most of them did not produce tornadoes. We really only have that one confirmed tornado. And as you look over the entire southeast, we had 450 reports of wind damage on Saturday and several reports of tornadoes. So really most of the damage was done by the strong, gusty, damaging winds. So it's always something to think about as we approach severe weather season. And of course,
now we have a severe weather season. Wow. A severe weather season? You know, for the young who don't know what life used to be like in this country, they get a pass. But there is way too many, certainly in my generation, the baby boomers, way too many who know full well. Oh, wait, all of them know full well. And to see them not care, they leave in this world to the young. I am so unbelievable. There are times when I can't believe. I'm sorry. And then there are the people, oh, it's not the baby boomers' fault. Yeah, it is. It is. Oh, guess who's leading the country now? Baby boomers. And I'm tired of people giving people a pass and, you know, those who should know, making excuses for people's immoral behavior. Oh, this one, well, he's just not well. None of us are well. None of us, all of us are facing really hard circumstances, a whole lot of stress. Enough with the excuses.
Information from the National Weather Service tells us there were 3 tornadoes that touched down in East Texas during Friday night's storm, all of them being EF1 tornadoes with winds up to 100 miles per hour. Here are pictures from Nacogdoches. This is where one of those tornadoes came through. This is also where East Texas had a fatality from the storms. The other 2 tornadoes were in northwest Panola County and center Texas.
You want to tell me when we had tornadoes in the winter?
Information.
When did we have tornadoes in the winter? I'm going to play this full broadcast.
People
People living in Metro Vancouver are bracing for snow and freezing temperatures for the next week in a part of Canada not used to a typical Canadian winter. Already, up to 15 centimeters of snow has fallen, producing piles of heavy, wet slush. With temperatures dropping, this is all going to freeze. High winds led to power outages and ferry cancellations overnight. People living in parts of the BC interior are expecting an even more extreme cold spell. Temperatures are expected to plummet to as low as -25 with the wind chill. It's been a weekend of messy weather in southern Ontario. Roads and properties were inundated with a mix of snow and freezing rain. Parts of the Greater Toronto area received as much rain normally experienced in January and February combined. Overnight, police shut down a stretch of the Don Valley Parkway, one of Toronto's main arteries, because of flooding. Northeast of Toronto, plummeting temperatures made for treacherous conditions as the rain turned to ice. That same storm system pelted parts of Quebec with icy conditions. In Montreal, freezing rain turned into light snow, creating slippery roads and sidewalks. The system is now moving through Atlantic Canada. That bizarre weather swept through the southern and midwestern United States, bringing everything from snow to tornadoes. At least 11 deaths are being blamed on the severe weather. Jennifer Johnson reports.
Unusual spring-like storms tore through America's deep south, spawning deadly tornadoes. In Pickens County, Alabama, the damage was devastating. Larry Jones saw it all.
Tree, houses gone. Some were devastated, some was not alive.
The storms killed several people and left neighborhoods unrecognizable.
Anytime you have a loss of life, it's a very devastating thing for all people, across our whole community.
Another deadly tornado touched down in Bossier Parish, Louisiana, killing an elderly couple. Homes and businesses were also destroyed in Georgia after heavy winds and flash flooding pummeled that state.
The whole side of it's just gone.
The storms brought cold and snow to Texas, where a police officer and firefighter were killed in Lubbock while investigating a highway accident.
It's a huge loss for public safety community here, and very unnecessary. If people would respect road conditions, things like this wouldn't have to happen.
The storms brought flash flooding to Oklahoma and further north, icy conditions in Kansas.
This is crazy.
Heavy rains and winds hit Ohio, destroying several businesses in downtown Troy. And in Chicago, flooding caused several streets to close near Lake Michigan. Meanwhile, in the Northeast,
Yeah, short sleeves, just enjoy the day.
an odd break from the usual frigid January weather as temperatures hit 21 degrees Celsius in Boston for only the third time since 1872.
Too nice a day to stay in the house,
Colder, more winter-like temperatures are expected to return Monday as Mother Nature becomes a little more predictable. Jennifer Johnson, Global News.
Bizarre system.
No, and
It was a bizarre system. Unexpected weather. And I've shown you satellite images of this storm that the tail hangs out in the Gulf, never goes away. It just kind of moves across from into the Gulf of Mexico all the way on up to Canada. We didn't have weather like this. Now we do. And we do, well, quite a lot, because they got another one going. Another one is going. Another one.
Well, storms are really more reminiscent of something we're used to seeing in the springtime. They slam the south now with tornadoes, damaging winds, and flooding. Power has been knocked out to thousands of people, and at least 12 people have been killed. Our Kaylee Hartung is in Louisiana for us, where there was an EF2 tornado that cut a 40-mile path of destruction. Hello, Kaylee.
That's right. Good morning, TJ. This is what it looks like when an EF2 tornado rips through your home. Jerry and Mary Sue Franks were killed when their home was torn from its foundation about 200 feet from where I'm standing. Take a look at this wide angle. 135 mile-per-hour winds shredding this home to the pieces you see around me. A lifetime of memories scattered across this vast area.
Oh, God, I can't stand how these actors, mainstream media reporters, these actors get so, wow. Lifetime of memories scattered. And then, when they're off the air, okay, let's go. Let's go on to the next place where we see the damage and they never, ever report on what is causing the damage, weather modification, geoengineering, and weather being used as a weapon.
This morning, residents waking up to more destruction after 2 tornadoes touched down in the middle of the night. Residents reeling from the devastating tornadoes across the U.S. At least 12 people were killed during the severe weekend storms spanning from Texas to Ohio.
This is a fence on top of a home.
In Ohio, 2 tornadoes forced winds, uprooting this tree and ripping out the sidewalk underneath it. The strong wind sending this building's rooftop to the ground, the crushed debris blocking the entranceway as firefighters work to clear the streets below. And in Alabama, a tornado tormenting Pickens County, leaving 3 dead. In Louisiana, tornado damage toppling trees, uprooting hundreds, the destruction stretching for miles. The EF2 tornado eradicating homes, tossing this mobile home from its foundation, killing an elderly couple inside.
To wake up and see the news this morning was really sad.
In South Carolina, tornado damage ripping the school's roof right off. Brick and cement debris litter the lawn, the wind smashing these buses into each other, the top of these bleachers torn away. The Franks family spent the weekend digging through mud and debris to salvage what they could. A few precious family photos were found. As the sun comes up, this community continues to clean up the mess and heal.
Robin. So many people are really suffering. You know, it wasn't too long ago that this kind of damage that we see from weather would be talked about among people, not just listening to these, scattered reports of isolated areas getting hit, but they would be talking about it for days. Oh my God, I can't believe that this is... None of that happens anymore. None of it. None of it. What about Lake Michigan and these lakes and... yeah.
100% difference.
For 40 years, Walter and Norma Richard have lived 2 blocks from the shores of Lake Michigan in Rogers Park.
Yesterday, the waves were 15, 20 feet high.
They've witnessed decades of changes to the shoreline.
We have friends who live all along here. The beach is beautiful in the summer.
And they've worked hard to save the beaches and beautify the walkways.
Now, that's a mess. 2 weeks ago, they dumped all those stone on the shore, and it completely saved the beaches there.
The Army Corps of Engineers has been working to restore the shorelines.
I heard that a lot of what they accomplished has been taken away in the last 48 hours.
While these waves look fierce, they don't even compare to last night.
I've lived here 31 years, worst I've ever seen.
The water just keeps on coming up and up.
The water levels at some of the beaches were so high, volleyball courts became waterfalls.
The erosion is the worst I've seen it in 4 years.
As the water has receded, the ice has taken shape. Piers, normally under sand, now sit above water. Residents who enjoy their easy beach access,
It's a little, hidden gem.
are now trying to figure out how to dry out their soggy homes and garages
Pumping the whole thing out now.
and consider what comes next.
Any property adjacent to the beach is threatened.
So the water is creeping up on us here tonight. Not a lot of answers in terms of what's to come here. The city is working on it, but it will likely cost millions of dollars.
And guess who's going to pay for it? You guys. You guys around Lake Michigan. You will pay for the deliberate destruction that weather being used as a weapon is causing. You won't look at the real reasons. No, you're going to listen to the bullshit that you're told. And then you're going to bend over and take it and then write your check. Southern California, you're going to get drenched. Hey, Washington and Oregon, they say that there is a storm coming from the south of Alaska that's going to hit you hard. Where is it? Air masses moving in different directions. Once again, the nanotechnology is out and about. The nano balloons. So this is the storm system. Well, you've got cloud that is separated. They're moving it intentionally right into Washington. Look at all the microwaves. All of the microwaves in use. They're bringing in thick cloud mass, carrying in all of the water vapor from the ocean, and they will land it on you. They will dump it on you, just like it was dumped here in South Carolina, Anderson last night. A huge force of water spilling. But look at all of these microwaves in use. Yes, I am getting very tired watching all of this. Look at these air masses, Northern California. You got these air masses going in every direction, coming in from the Pacific, going east. Then you have air masses traveling up north. And you have this traveling down south. And you got a whole lot of microwaves in use right now. Nevada. And yeah, isn't it interesting that you have these nanoballoons, and wow, they just keep them from going inland into Mexico. This air mass is traveling east. Traveling south is another air mass. And they evaporate the cloud right here. They don't let any of this come inland. The whole thing manipulated. And we have another strong system coming in. Severe weather season we have. Coming in once again. Going across Mexico. And creating an awful lot of cloud. All the way on up to Canada. All links are below. Look, you don't want to hear me, how I express myself? Don't watch my videos.